In the last video, I showed how to get the current location of where the device is and display that within our terminal. And so what we want to do in this video, I mentioned in the last video that I might show this, is display a pin on the map to show exactly where we are in the world on that map. So if I go to the map view right now, you'll see that it's going ahead and it's updating our longitude and latitude, so our coordinates, but it's not displaying that on the map. In fact, we're still centered on Austin per this method right here. What we want to do is we want to get these coordinates and display that pin and kind of track it. So as these coordinates change, we want a pin to be placed on that coordinate. So what we'll do is I'll stop this, and then we'll jump into the location manager, did update location. So every time the coordinates change greater than 25 meters from the previous spot, this will fire an action. So this will fire what's in this block. So what we'll do is first extract the location's first coordinate. We'll extract that into, so if I copy that into a current location variable, just to make it a little easier to read. So current location equals locations.first.coordinate. Okay, so that's a little easier to read. You got the current location latitude, current location longitude. Now, how do we add a pin to our map? Well, in the documentation, you use an MKPointAnnotation. So this basically puts a little pin red on top of the map, and it displays that pin is exactly where the coordinates are. So if we take this MKPointAnnotation, again, we'll create an instance of it. So MKPointAnnotation.new, the only property that is associated with this MKPointAnnotation is coordinate. And that's because you have to specify the latitude and the longitude of where the pin is going to be. So this is already passed through via the current location variable. So we'll set the pin.coordinate equals the current location. So now that we have that current location set for the pin, we actually have to display this on the map itself. So you have to add it to the map somehow. And to do that, you use show annotation, and we're going to animate this. So if I grab this Objective-C code and I comment that out, what you'll do is you'll show annotation. So we take this action, and this is passed on the MK map view. So it's this view right here. What we'll do is pass the view, show annotations, and then this needs to be an array. So we'll place the pin in an array using those braces right there, and then we'll do animated true. We do want it animated. Okay, so with that done, there's one last thing we need to do, and that is to update the region. Because if we place the point on there, but we don't update the map, we're not going to actually see the point. It's going to be out some faraway place compared to Austin, especially if we're using the simulator and we're not actually in Austin. So what we'll do is we'll do view, and we're going to set region, and then we're going to get region. I'm going to have to make this an instance variable, and I'm going to have to pass this through an adder accessor. So we'll do @region, and then animated is true. Okay, so much like what we did above here. And like I mentioned, I need to go ahead and add that to our adder accessor. So I'll take each one of these, and we're going to do the same thing for our span. Okay, that way we can change this. So I'll add it to the adder accessor. It'll be for our region and for span. Okay, great. So that's working out great. So the region, that takes an MK coordinate region, and you have to pass through the coordinates and the span. So we got to change this as well. And what we'll do is we'll just copy this. So we don't want to create a new region. We want to use the same one, and we just want to update it. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy that, and I'll paste it right here, and it'll be region center. It'll be for the current location. And then we're going to use that same span that we have up here. And I'll actually zoom in a little. I'll add a 0 into there. And I'll click and I'll save this out. And this should work. So if we go ahead and we run this, it should show the pin on our map once we move to the map view. Okay, so we'll make our way to the map. And boom, we got our pin showing. And it's actually updating every 25 meters. So you're seeing a new pin every single 25 meters. And this is going along a freeway. And remember, if you go to debug in your simulator and go to location, you can choose the type of location that you're going to be using for the map, whether it be a custom location, Apple, city bicycle ride, city run, and in this case we're using the freeway drive. That's why it's updating so rapidly. If we change it to a city bicycle ride, it'll update the location again, and then once this gets started, once the simulator gets started with the bike ride, it'll start to update slowly. Now because it's a bike ride, again, every 25 meters it gets updated, so it's a little slower than a car, obviously. Now what we want to do is, let's say that we don't want to show every single location that we've been. So every time we've passed 25 meters, we don't want to show those pins. And rather, we just want to show where we are currently located. What we can do is actually take this pin variable and we will set it to class instance. So I accidentally removed the P on that. We'll go back up here, add this to our adder accessor, and then we'll set the pin. So you notice if you scroll down here, we're creating that point annotation. If we just extract that and put that into the view, we're creating it once, and then we're going to reuse this same point over and over rather than creating a new point annotation and showing that on the map. So now if we rerun our simulator, it should reuse that same MKPointAnnotation and just show the current location for our device. Going back to map. And let's put this back on freeway drive. That way we see it update a little more rapidly. The simulator does take a little bit of time to get started, but once it does, we should see, okay. So you'll see that this car is currently merging onto the freeway here, and you can see that we're only using one pin rather than showing multiple pins on the map, and it's because we're reusing that same MK point annotation. I hope this helps. I hope this gets you on your way to creating your app with a map view. If you like this video, please do hit the like button, and if you'd like to see more, definitely subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video, and thanks so much for watching.